Well, it's Memorial Day, and it's 20 minutes to 5 on the East Coast, and it's a Monday the 25th, and we haven't planted our garden this early in quite a while, and I'm watering it in because we didn't have time to put the irrigation out. One nice thing about having videos on YouTube is you can always look up and see what your garden was in previous years. Prior to doing a bunch of videoing of the garden, we would write down on a piece of paper everything we planted, and I did this on the back of an envelope. The road over here is on the right, and the grapes vines over there. And in the first three rows last year, we had cantaloupes and watermelons, and you could see cucumbers and okra and squash and beans and corn and onions. And this year instead of melons, we're planting cukes, because you need to spread the plants around. You don't want to plant a lot of plants, and you really never should plant the same plant over and over and over in the same space. And then there are plants that are known as a family. So you don't want to plant some things in the same family, like tomatoes and potatoes. People might not realize that, but they're in a nightshade or whatever they call it, same family. So whatever problems you would get from tomatoes being planted in the same row year after year, if you planted tomatoes and potatoes and tomatoes and potatoes year after year, you would have a lot of problems. One of the problems with planting tomatoes in the same spot is you get nematodes, and they're hard to get rid of. So if you rotate your crops around, you generally don't get it. And you should do it about every 3 years if you can. No more than every 2 years in the same bed. Like if you planted tomatoes there, you wouldn't plant them next year, but the following year. But it's best to do it the third year. So we've got our tomatoes in. We've got our peppers in. We've got all these rows done except the one next to the peppers. And we've got two kinds of cucumbers, onions, okra, 2 rows of bush lima beans, 1 roll of pole beans, because we put up 90-some quarts last year. We will probably still have some next year. And then we have 2 rows of squash, and an unopened row next to the pepper row, which is 11. There's nothing in that row getting watered. And then after that is 3 rows of tomatoes, Better Boys, 4th of July's, and Sweet Millions. And we've got a row and a half up at the end that we have yet to plant. But anyway, the things that need to be in the ground are in the ground.